and received a citation for excellence in creative writing. Later interests have included advertising, copywriting, disco, improv theater, partner dance, and Netflix. He self-published a tennis book and an improv theater book. They are on the unofficial Amazon worst seller list. He has a BA in English, an MA in English and Linguistics, an MA in SCI, and some kind of honorary PhD in world peace from Meru, we think. Professionally, he has worked mostly in advertising and web marketing and currently serves as the marketing director for MUM. 400 plus poems down the road, he is only this year getting a book-length poetry book out entitled Butterfly Tattoo, thanks to Diane Frank at Blue Light Press. Please welcome Paul Stockstead. Now we'll clear out of here. Let's set the timer. That's good. Okay. Cool. Hi. It's always so wonderful for me to meet you. That is, people who come to poetry readings. I actually wrote a poem about it last time, which I don't have here, but I think there's always so many other things to do, so really weird people must go to poetry readings. I appreciate that, since I resemble that. Today is a great day. I put up a swing. I think that's a nice thing. My wife and kid are swinging on it somewhere in Cedar Rapids right now. So that's a good feeling. I'm going to put Glenn over here. Get back to Glenn later. So this is the manuscript of the book called Butterfly Tattoo. And I'm still kind of reorganizing it. But today, for some reason, I think I'm mostly known for romantic poetry, and if I'm known at all for that. It seems to me I'm known for a lot of things. Some of you know that I do poetry. Some think I'm a massage person, and some think I'm a tennis pro, and some think I do disco, and some think I'm just dated too many girls. But that's okay. It's been a long time since I was the talk of town. It's been great. Oddly, I have the, instead of my normal kind of poems I would normally read, I've had this desire to read some poems about the kind of thing that people my age deal with, and that is parents who are departing. And so I want to read some poems about my parents, and both of whom passed on. And they were both writers. My mother was a writer with a capital W. My father wrote as well. Although she would use a lowercase w, she really was the real writer. He was the most prolific writer. He wrote thousands of poems. And she probably wrote, 80. But, she had the stuff. And my father kept trying, and it was fine. And he was inspired. It was a good retirement activity for him. He did okay. But to give you context, my mother, Ruth, her poem, a few poems of hers, Soft Sad Leaves. A soft leaf is, shade slow and little. A leaf falls, still and alone, yet there are many to rake up. People are black, white, yellow, red. We paint the colors with the brushes of our tongues, and some colors are harsh and pictures empty. The winter snow. The snow fell reverently as it talked in hushed silence and whispered loud. I hope soon to do a book of her poems.
One of my father's tennis pupils published his poetry, which was a great gift to him. But she's the one that deserves the volume, so I'm going to work on her stuff, hopefully when I finish this one. Sometimes people wonder, why am I here? What have I done? I'm going to read the poem about my mother first, because I mentioned her, and then the poem about my father. The title of the mother poem is What Mother Did. Ruth Stockstead ran across the field, around the track, up the steps, heart pumping, feet briefly unearthed now and then, right and left as she flew through the autumn air, hair streaming behind. She once ran where now she can barely walk, and jumping over a chair as high as her wheelchair then, laughing, playing tag, ran off, never caught. Ruth Eleanor sat at the Dane County Fair for a photo and moved, posing quietly, a little this way, a little that, and as she moved, her face and body moved through periods of timeless beauty, startling perfection, beyond anything ever seen in Wisconsin. Beautiful enough so that Lloyd Stockstead would now and then forget the camera and simply stop and look. And when she moved through, around, and occasionally stopped in perfect beauty, the angels stopped too, looked, laughed, and cheered at something so delightful and brilliant in action, lighting up this shaded world. Ruth Fegestead Stockstead made her body available as a pink cathedral for my brother Arden to float and grow in, bringing him food and breath through arteries and veins, made him his first home of her body, and then brought him out into the world to play. Ruth Stockstead saw a bird hopping on the ground, right where other people saw birds, but she also saw a tender, sincere, innocent, eternal, poignant beauty, and wrote about it in a poem, like her other poems, which preach careful observation, tender feeling, deep insight, and the broad mastery of design that rolls through all things. Ruth had children and nursed them with her breast, taking food into her body and somehow miraculously changing it into a sweet white liquid that she gave, along with a feeling that you are loved, your mother loves you, the world welcomes, soothes, comforts, celebrates, and feeds you. Patient Ruth came back many times from the unstructured ward of the insane, took the long drive home from Independence to a world of edges and envelopes, bumps and grinds, intense, overworked, underpaid husband, crying children, dirty dishes and diapers. Yes, despite 25 years of misdiagnosis, mismedication, and shock therapy, came home to the unforgiving, stereotypical or else world of the 50s to be a mother again. She cared so much about people that no one else seemed to notice. She, the patron saint of the forgotten, the broke, the white trash, the lonely, the neglected, the outcast. She, the great forgiver, if only she could believe in her own forgiveness. She made and celebrated and trained her children to be lovers of people, compassionate, considerate, sensitive, humanitarians. Yes, Ruth Eleanor Fegestead Stockstead did something in this life, something great. Similar poem about my father, Lloyd Stockstead. He died a couple years ago. It's called Because You Are Here. Because you are here, we have memories all the way back to 1918. Because you are here, we have your hardworking mother, your creative, dreaming father, and many siblings lined up for the staff photo outside the Stoughton restaurant. Because you are here, we have basketball teams in woolen shirts, too large, and satin pants too short, sandbags the size of napkins, moistened through the corner and needed for warmth by football players stamping on the sidelines. Because you are here, we have the zigzagging troop ship on the way to Honolulu, you in your bunk late at night reading a Bible by flashlight. Because you are here, we have the entire span of the 1950s, Korea and Sputnik and Shepard and Gagarin, Fiesta wear, I Love Lucy, Reverend Stays revivals at the Calvary Baptist Church. Because you are here, we have late nights as you walked us back to sleep, crying, then softer, softer on your shoulder. Because you are here, we have 5 children in the North Central Basketball Conference, and Karen Mosier, Katie Fletcher, Bev Buckley, and more, all with great forehands, drop shots, and trophies. Because you are here, we have a long drive to Independence and back, bringing Mom home from the hospital again. Because you are here, we have memories and opinions and stories and influences and moral decisions of our own. Because you are here, we will forever have the old rugged cross, just as I am in John 3:16. Because you are here, there are several thousand students who ran, jumped, swam, served, or sprinted and grew under your guidance, who are still running, jumping, serving, or guiding. Because you are here, we have a quiet man typing into the night on his new iMac, completely in joy that his new computer runs as fast as his thoughts. Because you are here, we have a saintly man reaching for inspiration and sending it out every day to many who know, have known, and will always know, a loving, positive, always questing, always seeking, always giving, great man. Because you are here at the age of 84 today. Because you are here and have always been there and always will be here in our minds, hearts, lives, and thoughts, wherever you are, whenever you are. Because you are here. So I wrote 2 poems. One was in my mother's funeral, one in my father's funeral. And I think that's it today. First one's called Ruthie in the Sky with Diamonds. Okay. I read these at their funerals too. It was fun. Yes, it was fun. It was nice to be able to read these. It's my mother. I suppose that this should be a day of mourning, mother having died last Tuesday, the visitation yesterday, and the funeral today, right now. One of those days when we were supposed to feel somber and sad. But I'm having a hard time feeling sad today, knowing that our Ruthie is free at last. Just imagine Ruthie, not defined by illness, mental or otherwise, not living in a crippled, aging body. Without all that, what's left? When you take away everything that weighed her down, you're left with nothing but love, 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 a mother's love, a sister's love, a lover's love. This mother gave love. This mother taught love, which means that I always have love in and around me. So now all that's left of Ruthie is not in this room, that is, not in this coffin, not in this little broken body. But yes, Ruthie is in this room as the love she has, the love she feels, the love she is for all of us. And if she is here now, it's as a free, laughing, loving Ruthie who floats in, above and around us, in love, like a seagull flying free, drenched in sunlight, decorated with droplets from her recent dip in the ocean, shining like diamonds on her wings. I'm sorry, I want to put in one more poem. This poem is, I have a thing about birthdays. And I always think it's odd that we celebrate our birthday, but we don't give our mother a gift. She worked pretty hard on that day. And I always feel like we should remember her. She should be remembered. So I wrote this when I was 60, and I had a big disco party, because it's my era, disco era. So, but I was thinking about her, and it's called 3 Days Away. It's my birthday in 3 days, and have you heard about, or maybe you've seen the ads for my 60th birthday disco party, Disco Like 60. 4 hours of nonstop music stored in the iPod for the Morningstar Studio Dance Saturday night, complete with glitter disco ball. So where is she this night? Where is she who 60 years ago was wondering if this was the day or the next or the day after? After 9 long months of another child building inside, morning sickness, stiffness, weight gain, but also that motherly estrogenic glow. She waiting the December night, wondering what will become of yet another baby. Where is she tonight as we prepare for my 60th, and my little boy wants to come and be at the dance, not to dance, but to stay close. And I too want to stay close, be close, feel her heart close, beating like it once beat, just inches away, 60 years ago, Where are you, my dear Ruthie, my deceased Ruthie? Where are you tonight? So close to my birthday, our birthday, 3 days away tonight. So this is the final. It's from my father, his funeral. When we gather, when we reflect, when we meet in rows in a church at a funeral, when we think of a life that was precious to us, just before parting, and just before giving the body of our friend, or in this case our father, over to those who seal the coffin and bury, we think of saying goodbye. We think of this as a time of departure. We can also make of it a time of summing up, or reflecting on the whole of a life that we admire. In recent days, we've had a slowly faltering figure with more trouble walking and even talking as he approached close to this transition. And so thinking of him, we would wonder, how is he? How long do you suppose he has? When can I visit next, since we never know when it will be the last? And when will I get the call, which I know someday I will get, from Sister Mary saying, Dad's not doing very well. And here we are now, a few days after that call, putting the body of our friend, our father, our coach, to rest. But now, there's no more wonder how he is doing, no more worry about his walk, his talk, no wonder whether I should visit this week or next. Now we don't have him in old age, on visits when we can get over, or to play pool, or listen to his poems, or just talk. Now we have him at age 16, running through Stoughton, Wisconsin, at top speed, full of life and laughing. We have him coaching 25 basketball players through wind sprints, layups, and free throws, or sitting with us at some restaurant table, drawing basketball plays on the napkins. We have him driving 40 miles to Clarksville to give a tennis clinic and explaining once more, start through low and foul through high. We have him, the strong, hard-working father of 5, at the center of a busy family deep in the 1950s. We have him singing, though not very well, next to us in the Calvary Baptist Church. We have him making friends and joking hundreds of times with what up until then were strangers. We have the Gideon placing Bibles, who knows where. We have the long drive to Waterloo without stopping at a single light due to exquisite timing. We have traipsing through P.T. Bennett's Strawberry Patch in 1957, way before organic was cool. We have a main pillar of this 7-part experience that we call the Stockstead family, like other families, but unlike in that this and only this one is ours. So here we are on a day which came with long delay, a day that none of us can really understand because it makes no sense that there's a world without our mother in it. It makes no sense that there's a world without our dear father coach in it. It's not clear how we can simply go on living as if nothing has happened. It's not clear how we can function with such a loss. And therefore, the only choice is not to let go, but to keep him with us, to know that he is always in existence, always our father, our friend. And though we bury this body and put that behind us, and this day behind us, we never ever agree to live in a world without a connection to the living spirit, the indestructible friendship and relationship that we had, that we are, that we will be. Coach, we, your children, your grandchildren, your students, your friends, celebrate your transition and claim the eternal existence and the permanent nature of our connection to all that you were and all that you are. But one thing that we know is that you're not here in this coffin, in this left-behind body, and we suspect we know where you really are, sitting in a heavenly version of a park bench, surrounded in flowers with Mom, both in teenage bodies, laughing, snuggling, and probably making out. Thank you.